writing is kind of my first love. And it's something that's really important to me because I think you tell people's stories when you put it in writing, and it becomes part of the culture of the community. And when you run a newspaper, you then become the voice of the individuals who you represent and you serve. And in this community, there is a publication called the Minnesota Spokesman-Recorder, who has been the voice of the African American community for 8 decades. You know, when we think about minority-owned businesses and how sometimes they come and go, and about the 7-year piece that I was talking about earlier, it's hard to fathom an organization that has stayed in place and not only survived, but right now is still one of the strongest voices on behalf of one of the most underserved populations and communities in the state of Minnesota. And so I read it regularly. I have to get it. Every time I go on U-Rock, I get my copy. and you know, it brings me great joy to be able to read a newspaper and to see a publication that talks about issues, talks about politics, talks about culture, talks about fashion, talks about sports, and all those things from a perspective that are uniquely African American and have done it for more than 80 years. And so, you know, for me, they're not just a newspaper, but they're part of the very fabric of this community. And for many folks, they've been the way in which they get their news. And for many people, the only time they're ever reported on. You know, when it's, you know, we have very much a very sensationalized media environment across the country, where people of color oftentimes just in those very sensational stories that are oftentimes negative. But it's beautiful to pick up a publication, a periodical that celebrates who you are and tells the stories about the best and the brightest of your community. So again, I want to thank and also recognize the Minnesota Spokesman-Recorder and Tracey Williams-Dillard, who this is a family publication, who she continues to keep alive every day and providing us with a voice. Ladies and gentlemen, Minnesota Spokesman-Recorder, 80 years.